Hello, it's Ron Climer again, back with Vasquez, and we're here to talk about these last 5 questions in this book, Modern Real Estate Practice in North Carolina. I'm over on page 753, and I assume if you're watching this, you know that I've got all the other questions. I guess this is the 10th session that we've done so far. I'm Ron Climer. That's my phone number. That's Ron Climer at Yahoo. By the way, I also have a blog, Ron D. Climer, at blogspot.com, and I blog for well, people that are new in real estate. I care a lot about people that are new in real estate, and I got a new board. I hope this one works. The other one, as you remember from our last session, kind of went haywire on me, but I think that was the weather. Man, this North Carolina weather is just great. I drove in snow for the first time in my whole life 3 days ago, and here I am in my short sleeves. So what a great place. Anyway, I'm on page 753. I'm looking at question number 46, and it says, if a buyer borrows $4,400 and agrees to pay back the principal and interest in 18 months, what annual interest rate is the buyer paying if the total payback is $5,588? So I gather there's no payments on this. He's just borrowing the $4,400, and 18 months later he's paying it back. And the question is, what is the interest rate? Now, I assume that you learned this in real estate school. I over PRT. I learned this in the 8th grade at Largo Junior High. Interest, principal, rate, and time. And if you will take the one of these that you're looking for and cover it up, it will leave you the formula for whatever it is that that you're looking for. So this question says, what is the interest rate? So the formula is rate equals interest over principal times time. Now in this question they don't tell us how much the interest is, but they tell us that we borrowed $4,400. We borrowed $4,400 and we paid back $5,588. So I guess if we subtract the principal from what we paid back, that will give us the interest. Alright, let's try it. That's an 8, that's an 8, that's a 1, and that's a 1. So we paid back $1,188 in interest. We paid back our principal and our interest, and we did that in 18 months. It says so in the test question. Now, when I learned this in the 8th grade, Mr. Adams told us that this is how this works. The principal here is $4,400. Now the time is always expressed in years. So you could make the time 1.5 years. 1.5 years. Well, and then the interest is $1,188. Interest is always expressed in dollars. So we're paying back this interest, so let's do 4,400 times 1.5. 4,400 times 1.5 years. This comes to, let me redo this. Rate equals I over PT. The T is 1.5. The P is 4,400. That comes to 6,600. And the interest is still $1,188. So we end up with $1,188 divided by 6,600. All right, let's put that in the calculator. $1,188 divided by $6,600. And that gives us 0.18 or 18% interest. Now, by the way, when Mr. Adams taught this to us in the 8th grade, he told us that if you will make the time 1 year and always make the interest 1 year's interest, it just makes the arithmetic easier. He said you don't have to do it that way, but it just makes the arithmetic easier if you do. So if we take this formula, rate equals I over PT. Now, if we're going to make the time 1 year, the principal is still $4,400, but we paid $1,188 in interest in 18 months. So if we take the $1,188 and divide it by 12, let's see what 1 month interest is. Did I say divided by 12? No, divided by 18, because it was 18 months. All right. So let's take 1,188 divided by the 18 months. So we're paying $66 per month. So if we times that by 12 months, our interest for the year was $792. All right? So if we take this formula right here and we make this $792, 4,400 times 1, that is 4,400. So we end up with 792 divided by 4,400. Let's see what the calculator says. And the calculator still says 0.18. So I over PRT. Principal is how much you borrowed. Interest rate is a percent. Time expressed in years, and interest expressed in dollars. So if we paid $792 in interest in 1 year, that's 18%. And don't be borrowing money at 18%. If you find somebody needs $4,400, loan it to them at 18%. All right, let's move on. That's interest. Now, look on page 753, question 47. If you purchased a lot that's 125 feet by 150 feet for $6,468.75, what price did you pay per front foot? Man, that is a pretty inexpensive lot, I guess. But now, by the way, this is exactly like question 2. We've already done this. We're just practicing here on question 47. The lot is 125 by 150. Now, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Y'all excuse me. The front number, 125 feet, is the frontage. That's usually, almost always, traditionally, standard procedure. Unless somebody tells you otherwise, the front number is the front edge. So, if this is the street, and the lot is 125 by 150. If it was the other way, it would be 150 by 125. But it says it's 125 feet of frontage. And we paid, how much for it? $6,468.75 is what we paid for it. So if we divide this number by the 125 feet, all right, we got the calculator right here. $6,468.75 divided by 125 feet, that is $51.75 per front foot. By the way, in that question, they give you the depth of the lot, which you really don't need to know. Somewhat of a common practice that a lot of times just because they give you information doesn't mean that you need it. So the answer to that one is choice C, $51.75 per front foot. All right, I'm going to erase that. Boy, this new board is looking good. Except it doesn't have a place to put your eraser. All right, let's go to question 48. It says Mr. Buyer is given a 90% loan on a $500. So this is the price of the house. He's getting a 90% loan. All right, let's see what we got. $340,500 is the price of the house, and he's getting a 90% loan, which means he's getting a loan for $306,450. So he is borrowing this much. This is the loan amount, $306,450,000. Now it says here, how much will their monthly principal and interest payment be using a loan factor of $7.16 per $1,000? Now, I assume you learned about factors in your real estate school where you went to real estate school. A factor is a number that has the principal and interest when you have an amortized payment. So in this case, it's $7.16 per $1,000. All right. Well, let's take the loan amount and divide it by 1,000. All right. Let me try that with the calculator. So we have 306.45 thousandths. It cost $7.16 per thousand to pay back the money with an amortized payment. All right, so we're going to take that number there times 7.16, and my calculator says $2,194.18 or 19 cents, depending on how you round. And so that is your monthly payment. We took the loan amount divided by 1,000. This is how many thousands we have, times $7.16. So our payment's going to be $2,194.18. And that is choice number A in this book. All right, number 49 is a commission problem. I'm sure y'all can probably do this in your head, so but I'll do it anyway. Let's see. It says we sold a house for $61,000. That's the price of the house. All right. We sold a house for $61,000, and we're getting 6% commission on the first $50,000. All right. $50,000 times 0.6, 6%. All right. $50,000 times 0.06 is $3,000. All right. So we got $3,000, leaving us with $11,000. Subtract the 50 from that we're getting 3%. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're only getting 3% on that money. All right. Let's see. $11,000 times 0.03 is $330 more. So we got 3,000 plus 330, or $3,330 is the total commission. That's the total commission. Everybody follow me. We subtracted the 50,000. We took 6% of that. Leaves us with 11. We took 3% of that, added them together, and this doesn't ask anything about splits or whatever, just how much is the total commission. And it's $3,330. Everybody good with that? They should all be so easy, don't you think? All right. Let's go to question number 50. And question number 50 says a lot is 50 feet by 100 feet. And everybody knows that means feet. And it has a 2,400 square foot house on the lot. And it tells us how many bedrooms and baths it's got. Who cares? It says what percentage of the lot is not taken up by the house. By the way, anytime you see a question that says this is what percent of that. Anytime you see a question that says this is what percent of that, it's just a fraction. That's all there is to it. It's just a fraction. You multiply that by this and it gives you the percent. So it says the house is 2,400 square feet. However, the question says how much of the lot is not taken up by the house. All right? How big is the lot? 50 by 100, or 5,000 square feet. Let's do that with a calculator. All right? 50 by 100. So the lot is 5,000 square feet. Now, given in the question, the house is 2,400 square feet. So the rest of the lot, and we'll just call this the not house. It's kind of like the nut house, only different. So the rest of the lot that's not house is 2,600 square feet. The lot is 5,000. So this is what percent of that. The not house is what percent of the lot. So, and the answer is, hold on, 2,600 divided by 5,000. My calculator says 52%. So 52% of the house, of the lot, is yard, and so I guess 48% of the house is. By the way, if I was taking this on the test, I would have probably missed it, because when I first did it, I computed the house. I just didn't see that not. You know how that is? So be careful with that. So anyway, that's some practice questions there. And I just put these up here to help you, and I hope that they are a help. And I did this down in Florida. If you go to YouTube and Google my name, Ron Climer, you'll find a bunch of math that I've got down there that I did in Florida when I had Climer School of Real Estate down there. I've retired, come up here to North Carolina. Don't have Climer School of Real Estate. Can't teach in Florida anymore. And so I came up here to retire. But I just can't help but try to help you by putting these up. And I'm going to try to put up some more videos that maybe you'll find helpful as you start your career. So come back and check me out and see what's here. And good luck in your new career.